and I am here to do a collective tarot reading for you all this evening. Please forgive my hair. It's been pinned up all day. I've been running all around all the city, and so just got out the shower. Just let me be, okay? Just let me be. But anyways, I just did my prayer before I clicked on the live, and so now we're just going to delve into the energies. This is a general reading for the collective. It is not a private. However, if you would like a private with me, you can email me at selfcarehoneystop@gmail.com. So let's go ahead. Ooh, excuse me. And we can get started. Feeling okay. So we got the Empress. So we're having this grandiose feeling of abundance. Someone could have, I'm sensing that someone just could have got like a service done, like something for their self-care. You might have received something that makes you feel like a little bit more abundant for sure. And what's so good about this is that it's causing you to be like in this sort of a nurturing energy. Someone could also just be finding out that they are with child, or also trying to or just became a new mother also by marriage, and by becoming a like stepmother or something like that, or like a kind of like a maternal figure for someone in need. And what's so crazy, they don't want me to say like child, they just said someone in need of mothering. So like it which is giving like any age really. I don't know if someone's just taking someone under their wing or something like that. That's what it's kind of giving. And so kudos to you for delving into your mothering action, and kind of becoming into I guess like evolutionizing your, it's like you're transforming into a very like abundant nurturing figure for someone. With the long term, it seems like you've been working on something for the long term. You could be trying to work on saving and being kind of like diligent about whatever money that you have coming in. And so that's also helping you put yourself into this wonderful energy of abundance. And so like the spirit says the more you do it, the more will come in. Absolutely, for sure. We have like this heavy Taurus energy coming on. You might be seeing more results than you thought that you would see. Hi, thank you so much. Okay. So maybe in the past, this has come from you having, someone had like kind of a lack of direction or whatever with the Page of Wands in reverse, which kind of resulted in the Tower. I'm sensing that this is where someone might have came from. So yeah. And what's so crazy about it is that like when you get the Page of Wands in reverse, it's something that, mind you, this is introspection, where I'm not saying you or anything like that. I'm just saying that most of the time it tells us this is something that we've done ourselves, or something that we've allowed to sort of happen to us from any kind of like newly formed idea that wasn't thought out as best as it could have. So like let's see what else can we expect, because it's already showing that like you're gonna be just planting those good seeds for the future for sure. And it's already got you in this abundant energy, and this is just gonna be like a snowball effect for you. Like it's gonna be so good. They said keep doing these things so you can stay in this energy, so it can just get the energy can just like multiply or whatever. We could be dealing with the Virgo. And such a pretty card. Oh, it's so pretty. I love that. Let's see what else we got. A Virgo could also be helping you do this if you kind of felt like you had like a loss of direction and not quite knowing how to get whatever under control, whether this would be finances or just control even over a secret as well. I'm not quite sure what the secret is. Okay, wait, we got the Scorpio, and then we got the key. So this is a new deck for me, the Rosebell Oracle deck. I don't know it like just off the bat. I just got it this week. But what I will do, I'm going to read the key. Okay, so we got Virgo, Scorpio, we got Taurus here. Yeah, okay. Let's see. What does the key say? Give me one moment. Okay, the key depicted on this card differs significantly from the modern keys or keypads or card keys we use in contemporary times. The antiquated key is intricately tied with a ribbon, symbolizing two main concepts. Firstly, it represents the discovery of hidden or obscure truths, solutions, liberation from long-standing issues, and secondly, it signifies finding solutions to tangled or complicated situations, much like unraveling a knotted thread. Okay, so yeah, I think you're getting control over a situation. You might be getting control over a situation that's having to do with a Scorpio or Virgo as well. Let's delve in a little bit more on kind of what's the best step even after this control, or kind of like to maintain whatever control. Of course, to keep what you're doing, but if anything could like help. Okay. Okay. So I think someone was dealing with okay. I don't like this, but it's whatever. Okay. Someone is a spiritual hater. Sorry, it's the wrong card. Someone's a spiritual hater. They hate on your spirituality, your magic, your light, your power, what you represent. It's just that someone is just being bigoted on someone else's kind of modality or whatever. And then we have love triangle, third party, multiple lovers, and choices. So this could be a situation where possibly this is probably stemming from where this tower and this page of wands incident sort of happened. Someone could seriously be dealing with someone who is just really not that forthcoming with information because they are kind of like, ooh, okay, yeah, it's, oh, that is nice. Okay, right on top of the Seven of Pentacles. I didn't even see this pop out, but it says dodging bullets, blocking negativity, escaping crazy people, and protected by haters. So if you have like whoever this is that's kind of like encroaching on a past relationship or something that would be sort of like a romantic situation with you, these people are being blocked. If anyone is doing this, they're not even making a pinch on the situation, which is kind of funny because whatever this is, I think the third party or the person that might be kind of like looking at the situation from the outside, they could be creating some sort of I think this is such a hilarious word, and I'm forever going to always think of Jada Pinkett when I say this, but you know, of course it came from her, an entanglement. So Yeah, excuse me. Oh, sorry. I can only sit cross-legged for so long. And I lost my... Okay, sorry. I lost... What are the... My knee. Okay. But yes, it's not going to last for very long. Like, whatever that... Whoever is doing something, it seems like you have took an action. I don't know what exactly that you did, but whatever it is, like if you were saging, if you are wearing your crystals, if you're doing your prayers, whatever, whoever you pray to or whatever, you could be taking your spiritual bath, whatever you are doing, it is helping. It is completely blocking out these negative energies. Someone could be looking at you as if you are someone who knows what they're talking about, who a lot of people actually come up to, and they like they I don't know. So you could even be like this sort of head of some type of group as well. There is also someone who is up at the top of something that is keeping an eye on this situation, and this person who is manipulating something as well. Someone could be even highly religious as well. Let's see, we get what's the tea with this. Okay, so and what's so crazy about it, I think because I wanted to look at the rest of these, this is what actually came out. We have bad habits, drugs, addiction, toxicities. We have always partying, talking shit, and fake flexing. They're acting rich, money, acts fancy, shows off, etc. So that's neither here or there, to be quite honest, unless someone's actually like talking about some of the things and boasting, then it's fake flexing. But if you just happen to see something that someone has, that's not flexing. Like, I think there's a whole thing on here. I'm kind of sensitive to the subject because, like, if you have something that's nice and then someone else knows it, it's not flexing, it's not showing off because someone else notices it, type of issue. Yeah. Like you notice it. Now, as long as someone isn't talking about it, but I'm seeing that this person is actually like trying to make themselves seem a little bit more than what they are. They could be talking shit about you, also flexing. This person, whoever has been, this third party is talking shit about another person. They're trying to get involved. Like, person, it seems like there's two people, right? Two people in a relationship. This person might be talking to, dating, befriend someone else, and this person talks shit on these two or the other person. And this person has really bad habits. But it doesn't matter if it's drugs, if it's alcohol. Is it seriously like just talking complete and utter crap? Yes, hi, Heavenly. I do readings. You can also email me at selfcarehoneyshop@gmail.com, where I'm sorry, selfcarehoneyshop@gmail, yes.com, where I offer readings or personal readings. But this is a general. And yeah. Okay, so yeah, this person, I think whatever their addiction that they keep feeding into, they do it so much to where it is just something that, like, they they need to do to feel like it's just giving them this weird supply to where like they need to just keep doing it and keep doing it, and it makes them feel normal. It makes, and it's clouding their judgment as well, even if it's just not something that you can, if you would like to send a donation, you can. um I'll allow one little question, and I'll read for you. Let's see. Yeah. So, but yeah. So there's a lot of weird energy that this person has been sending. It's kind of like evil eye, but I wouldn't worry about it, because the fact that this person is sending you in this relationship this like crazy energy, it's fine, because you are blocking the negativity. And the fact that it's not, the energy doesn't seem to be permeating your kind of essence. Like this person feels like this, one second before I answer you, my dear. This person, it's causing them to reflect. And you could be doing this too on what's your next steps, which is exactly what you should always be doing before you act. So let's see. I'm gonna consult the tarot first for your question on what your the kid's father, what does he want with you? Spirit, what does for, okay, so what it seems to me is that I don't know if like there was like some sort of an ending. So you're just saying that there was an ending cast on this, and that this person, I don't know what their, this person has some sort of baggage where they're having issues with transitioning from one thing to the other. So for some reason, I don't know if you're dealing possibly even with an Aquarius, or one of you has like air in your chart. This person is they want healing, and they feel like they're gonna get it by like trying to extract empathy from you, because it's showing that it's over, and that the like everything is being aligned to be in your effort for good, like it's aligned for you to excel. But having to kind of, I think this person feels defeated by something, either by something not working out, um wanting movement. It seems like this person is wanting harmony, but also empathy as well. And to be quite honest, like depending on what happened, and if this person did anything, they they shouldn't be asking for your empathy. Let's get a what's the tea with that. Okay. If this person um this person is facing bad karma. They have some emotional business that they're trying to get through, And maybe at one point in time it was good when you guys were together. It was a good thing. But the fact that it's not an ongoing thing with you both anymore now. This person might be going through some things that Spirit has said, it's time to pay rent. And so I don't know if they think that their karma or like whatever is going to be erased if you guys get back together. It's kind of like, oh, like if I, tried to get this person's empathy, if I tried to get back in their good graces, if I try, it's giving that. So do not get wrapped up in this person's, don't get wrapped, I don't want to say bad, even though they're saying bad. Don't get wrapped up in what's coming to them, because what's coming to them or what's happening to them, it's not for you. And that's what they're saying. I think it's like a whole empathy thing. So, Larry, you want to know if you're going to be punished? Do you feel like you're going to be punished? Because I'm telling you, if you feel like you're going to be punished, we are what we think. You're welcome, Heavenly. A double card. So, you might be thinking about this in a little bit more of excess. It's more, Spirit. It's kind of like, I would look, you apologize. It's saying that, I don't know if you have a Capricorn in your chart or this person has Capricorn in your chart, but either way, they're saying it's destructive behavior, and obviously that it's destructive behavior because you decided to apologize. And so if there's nothing that you can do after apologizing, you've already put yourself out there, like you have to let it go. If it's not something that you can control in your immediate surroundings, then your mind needs to let it go too. As long as she wasn't deserving of it and you've already apologized, like just let it go. Just let it go. And the only thing that you can do is just be better. That's the only thing you can do is be better. It just depends. Like, it depends on the type of person that you want to be and what you feel like is warranted and what this person deserves. I am not the person to come to. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have anxiety as well, and it's a big struggle to like let things go and to forgive and things like that. I understand exactly what you mean by that. Let's see what else. I think they're saying just don't let yourself get into those modes where it's just destructive. Like, especially, like, I'm not saying be manipulative or anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if you know that you need to get somewhere with someone, or you have to cohabitate in some sort of way, then it would be in your best interest to just have at least an amicable relationship with this person. But if the person is doing something to make you do, like, that's something to look at as well. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I'm telling you, cards don't lie, baby. It says self-doubt, lack of awareness, inner critic, self-loathing, punishment, destruction, and ignoring the call on judgment. So, no, you'll be fine. You're normally this upright, you might get a little something, a little karma, but like, you're fine. This is you being And like, look at what it says. Inner critic. Inner critic. So this is you. You're casting your own judgment. You've already apologized. You've casted your own judgment upon yourself. So at this point, it's you that is punishing yourself. And I'm speaking to myself too. So yeah, like, and you know, there's a lot going on in the world that especially like, even if I'm not even gonna say especially, like every country has their own shit that they're dealing with, but like we're like in America, we're over here dealing with inflation, being overworked, and then on top of that we have our own domestic issues that are going on, just like piling on top of each other, and being overworked and not being able to be in a society where you can create and like do what you love all the time, which is really a reality that we should be living in. You know, it's hard. It's very hard on, you know, our mental and like mental illness. And because that's what anxiety is. It is. I am learning that I have it. I am diagnosed with, you know, anxiety. I am being treated for it. But it comes with a plethora of things. Do I owe them an extra amount of respect due to this incident? It depends on what the incident was. I'm not saying don't be accountable for your actions. I'm not saying that. But I am also... They want you to release this baggage with the Six of Swords. They want you to move on from this and on to thinking about winning with these people. They and I know it's easier said than done, especially because we're dealing with the mind. We're dealing with, you know, mental when we're talking about anxiety and like interpersonal relationships, and how like we have triggers, and some people, like, you know, it is a thing, you know, people can set you off, you know, or people can do and say things and it might be nothing to them. They might not even know what they do, you know. And being how your brain is wired, you know. She was sharing a video about how Gen Z is bad, and I went off and commented on Facebook thinking she wasn't random. You see, no, it was a, you didn't even know it was her. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't worry about it. Like, I wouldn't, if you apologize, you know, but like, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. When someone comes at us, like, I am kind of like a bad person when it comes to like those type of things, because, you know, a lot of people do and say things to others and they don't expect to get a reaction, you know, because we have to think before we speak to others. And if you are clearly a part of Gen Z and then someone is sending you negativity about Gen Z, and then you go off, like, now who's at fault? You know? Casting blame on a generation. You know, I know a whole bunch of people, there's a whole movement online about people casting judgment on boomers. Is she a boomer? Like, boomers have had, you know, inherited the best economy damn near in history. You know, they could not only afford, they could afford a house, they could afford a car, they could afford a secret family if one ever chose to, you know, be, you know, within their own infidelity, like, and it not be a problem, you know. So like, yeah, like a lot of us are like that, especially, we don't know anyone. And so like it online. So sometimes it's a lot easier for us to like, and I'm gonna say it, like I've done it. Like I'm not perfect. Now I'm a little bit better at speaking. Actually, I'm a lot better with like speaking to strangers and stuff and trying to basically sway them respectfully instead of just ripping, them a new asshole on, line. But, like Facebook, I hate Facebook. I really do hate Facebook. I'm never on it. And it's so easy to do stuff like that on Facebook. It really is. Especially you don't know who like commented, and then like you get like a reply, and especially if you're not like well versed within Facebook, and you just like keyboard warrior. But yeah, they're saying focus on your new beginning. It is okay. You'll be okay. I'm gonna get back to the general reading for all of us. And then two mixed, it made a situation where I could never say that to blood, no matter how they brought it to me. I just some random I'll never meet. I feel safe letting them know they're wrong. Yeah, we're all like that. We really are. Like, especially if something is like clearly like, red flag, no, you're wrong, that's not okay. For you to be saying something crazy like that, let me set you straight. Like, I get that. But it was an accident and you didn't know it was her. Oh, how bad was it? Did you curse? Did you curse? I'm not trying to laugh at your situation, but like, you know what I mean? Like, especially if you were really trying to rip like a complete stranger, Let's see what else we got. That's a collective, because we were talking about for the collective that like there's somebody that ooh, somebody might be getting some unexpected money. What? Play your scratch offs. Play your actually I don't like telling people to play scratch offs. Like, I'm more of a person that would like to tell you invest. You're more likely to get your money back if you invest. So like, get on your Robin Hoods, your E-Trades. You might come out, with some fat pockets in a bit. We got the Ace of Wands in reverse, the lack of motivation, lack of passion weighted down, and boredom. So someone might be there might be a fire sign or a Leo or a Cancer with the Knight of Wands that could be feeling kind of like impulsive, and they're bored and not really knowing what to do. And we're talking fire, so hopefully we don't let that get out of hand, because us fire signs, we like to pop off and we don't care. And sometimes we don't. It's just easy because, like, especially with fire signs, people don't really believe in this, but be like, I'm fire sign. I am emotions. What are you talking about? Like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So someone's impulsiveness, I don't know if someone likes to kind of like play the field. And like, it seems like something didn't go through with someone, and so they feel like they gotta, I don't know, they feel like they just gotta go out and get some sort of adventure, and it might lead to some lipstick on the collar. Like, what? Who's going out there doing some nasty stuff? I ain't saying nasty, but somebody going out there having fun. As long as you're not, are you cheating on somebody? Somebody cheating on somebody? I hope not. Okay. My grandma said I'm a Frosio witch, which I think is a type of witch that I would love to learn about that stuff. Do you have classes on how to read? I do not have classes on how to read, even though I think I would be okay at teaching. I did like a little bit of like a video for like a lady that does a service of mine. Like I like to go get threaded, and so I talk to her about all my business all the time. And so she knows I read tarot. She reads this channel, or she watches this channel sometimes. And I did a little video on here for her, and it says for Cassie crash course how to read tarot. And so in that I explain that learning tarot is really just delving into esoteric studies. We can learn to read. You will learn so much more about the tarot when you learn the history and ancient signs and symbolism. You start delving into the meanings of sometimes that's why it's really hard to and I'm not speaking down on anybody. Layman people will, like, when they come in and they start talking about, oh, demons and witches and aliens and like the CIA and all this other stuff, and they hear these crazy terms, and these terms have another meaning that has nothing to do with what Hollywood has taught the masses. And so when you come into tarot readings and you hear people speaking about like different time dimensions and things like that, and it starts sounding real kooky, crazy, woo woo, all that other stuff, it means something else. And you kind of have to study. You have to study for tarot. Do I know of any good classes? I don't know of any good classes. I'm not one that has looked up classes, but I would like to tell you that this is one deck that is very good. I bought it myself so I can catch up on, or just like refresh on key terms and stuff. You can get these for like anywhere from $9 to $12 on Amazon. They have them everywhere. There is just the classic Rider-Waite tarot. This isn't the first tarot. The first one was actually destroyed, but this is kind of like the rendition, the closest we have to ancient tarot texts. A lot of these imageries, they come from the Bible, they come from the Emerald tablets, they come from Sumerian texts, they come from the Ptolemaic seals, they come from a lot of things that the Order of the Golden Dawn had in their imagery and in their texts that they learned from. That's where the tarot comes from. It did start out as a game, it did, but the lady that drew it, her husband was a member of the Order of the Golden Dawn, and he told her what to draw. And so when you are into spirituality and you start, the crazy thing about spirituality is that when you start to learn more about it, more gets opened up to you once you start to learn things. It's not all the stuff that you could just read in a book. It comes to you in increments. It's fascinating once you get into it. You have the Stragazzo bloodline, which is in your tradition, are sworn to secrecy, so it's kind of hard to learn. Well, maybe you could get, or I don't know if you can prove that to someone who practices. I, for one, what's so crazy is that, like, a lot of us, we practice pagan traditions and we don't know. We don't know that we do it. A lot of African Americans, they practice hoodoo and voodoo, and they don't realize that they're doing it. There's a reason, like let's say this, in most African American families, like as far as like eating black-eyed peas, like that's kind of like sort of a herb, like it's not a herb, but it is a vegetable, you know what I mean? But like it falls into that category of like inviting in good luck and prosperity into one's life, and that's what people used to eat back in the day. It's like all of our, that's why they say get to know your ancestors. you'll start to, like, there's some people, like even I have an altar, an ancestral altar. And so a lot of these things will come to you if that's a modality that you believe in. It's something that you can be able to access, and things will become revealed to you in that. And so you're from the south of Italy. How wonderful. Is pre-Roman Pagan. So that you might want to look up some of those things. The internet is we have a wealth of information. We really do. I remember about like 15 years ago, dang near, I started probably like, dang, it has been like, yikes, it's been like 13 years for me. Kind of studying the occult. It's been about 13, 14 years. Yeah. Yeah. I feel so old. Okay. But back when you couldn't find a book or anything, and then now it's just everywhere. Like, it's a trend now. It's awesome. And like, I'm here for people knowing themselves and finding themselves. And that's why they say know thyself, because like, find out your, you know, your history, like your family history, your ancestral bloodlines, and you practice that. That's why they say hoodoo and voodoo is a close practice, because you're initiated by bloodline. I'm pretty sure it's how you say, like, with your family bloodline. Everyone has something. It's very, very interesting. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent, guys. I went off on a tangent. It was supposed to be a reading. Very. Oh my gosh. If nations you're trying to work into your practice is an ancestral tradition, but they ate babies, so I'm sure. Yeah. That's not gonna work. It's not. That's I'm not laughing at them eating babies. It's just that, like, oh my god, that's crazy. We don't judge. We just listen here. We just judge. That's so horrible. That's so horrible. I should not be laughing at that. I have like weird twisted humor, so like, sorry guys, but like, yeah. Well, let's not do anything to get us locked up and like thrown under the jail and the key like out the window. Yeah. But yeah. What else we got for our people? How long is this? This is 42 minutes. But like, read books. You want to learn about the tarot? Read books. Of course, you can learn about tarot anywhere. I would take a card a day, draw a card a single day, or a couple cards a day, and meditate on those cards. Look those cards up. Notice the imagery before you decide to get any like fancier decks, like, and what I mean by fancy, I mean like decks that are not the traditional Rider-Waite style, because this will give you the exact kind of like traditional tarot imagery, so you know what to look for, and then you can transition. I think it's better to transition to things like Mystic Mondays, because like, of course, other decks are going to translate to the Rider-Waite cards. Like, for instance, the Princess of Swords is I think it's the Knight of Swords. No, it's the Page. Sorry, it's the Page. It's the Page of Swords, the Princess of Swords in the Mystic Mondays deck. And so that's why you should just go ahead and learn the Rider-Waite. If you want to get some fun decks, go ahead and do that. But learn from this first. Do I pray to the saints? Not necessarily. I have some views on that, because as far as the practices that I engage in, I don't see anything wrong with it per se. It's just the fact that, like, I understand that as a Black American, that is not, my ancestors did not pray to those saints. There are only some of them that did, because they had to cover themselves from religious or spirituality, a way of life persecution from colonizers. That's my view on it. I don't think that they don't have any validity, because we all have there are ascended masters. I think that Jesus was an ascended master, for sure. And I do think that it is a good energy. The name is a very, very powerful. Am I a pagan? In the sense of a layman, I would be a pagan, but I am I don't like to put a name on myself. But as for someone that needs to understand, that needs to have that label on me, you could call me a mystic and call me whatever you like. I don't even ascribe to the word witch, even though I can and have and will, if need be, manipulate energy. But I do it within ethical, or from what I understand as ethical laws. I do follow the laws of the universe as much as I can, or ethically. Will no name ever really be truly perfect? We gotta generalize. No name will ever be perfect. Not in my view. That's even when I was brought up in Christianity, as a lot of us were. I didn't even call myself a Christian when I was Christian. So, because I don't believe that. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah. We are in God's image, but we're here to learn to be like Him. We're not God, but we are the masters of our own universe. And see, that's what I'm saying for the when having a I'm not even gonna label this a tarot video, because I just went off on a tangent. Like, you just got me asking all these questions. But yeah, am I voodoo or hoodoo? I am not in voodoo or of voodoo. I don't have a I was gonna say something horrible. That's not a nice way to put that. I don't I am not under a mambo. I don't or like the head to teach, but I am well versed enough in hoodoo. I am. I'm gonna say yeah, hoodoo. I'll say that. In the Sicko tradition. Never heard of that. But I do a mix of things. I am very well versed. I'm actually I've done a ceremonial magic. That is actually in my my astrological chart, to be very well versed in sigil and ceremonial magic. But I don't always get all up into that, because I believe you gotta crawl before you walk. But I'm not very Like I have worked with Solomon seals before, or Solomonic seals, and they're very, 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 very powerful. Like, yeah, the world. Someone also is I don't know why someone feels like there is like an ending coming. There might be an ending, and it might be really making someone completely sad. With the Nine of Wands, someone isn't sure that they can take an ending. Is a mix of natives and Greeks colonized it. Oh, Sicilian. See, I almost asked you. I almost asked that. Like, is it Sicilian? And what's so funny is that am I gonna end the stream? I might need, well, it kind of already went, it went to like 50 minutes, because I just killed this reading by like answering questions, but I can't help but like pay attention to the chat. But one thing about Sicily I thought was so interesting is that the reason why some of them are darker skinned is because I didn't realize that it wasn't necessarily, it is Italian, but not Italian, because like it was just an island that like a lot of people passed through, and the Moors, and you know, and the blending, and that's why they're darker and everything. And I just thought that was like pretty it's pretty interesting. So like I really wonder what was the modality there, like what did people practice and where did those traditions come from, because the Moors were also they were African, they were mixed Arab, they were sub-Saharan, they were just a mixture of people that came through there. And so do they have any like African traditions? Do they have any Abrahamic, Islamic things that they do in their practices as well? Yeah, they were colonized. Yeah. But yeah, I just think that that's really interesting, and it's very funny. That's why one form of magic that is very, very powerful is Apollo, South American Apollo. Even another form like a Santeria. It also has a lot of African influences. I actually, like last week, was it last, no, it was earlier this week. It was like Monday. I don't know why I just thought it was last week, but I came back from one of my favorite botanicas, and I just love going in there because like it's just a hodgepodge of different things in one setting, and I'm just like, this is the real stuff in here. And I want to actually be able to go, I actually am trying to eventually plan a trip when I can get off of work and everything and go down to New Orleans. And I actually want to do some digging and find like a real, I'm not talking about like some touristy shop. I'm talking about like like a actual, like I know I befriended a lady that I've been talking to for years online, and Creole Creole Queen. She I think she even has a YouTube on here. She knows where you can like actually go and get real things, like actual like viper teeth and different venoms and things for practices and spells and everything, and like, you know, just not your gimmicky little touristy shops. And you have to know somebody to know where to get the really good stuff from, because one thing that I am actually in the process of procuring is things for gopher dust. And so, because I just thought it would, not that I actually, it's kind of crazy. I don't necessarily plan to like use it like that, but like I think it's a good thing to have in an arsenal for sure, is gopher dust. If you look that up, hoodoo, gopher dust. There's a story too of the Christians' brutality murdering the Stragazzo with the blood of the witches. Yeah, there's all throughout history is lots of persecution of religions. And I shouldn't even say religions, because it's a way of, like, as far as like voodoo, hoodoo, these people, I'm not sure what it is for, other modalities, but they view it as a way of life. It's not necessarily a religion. It's not something that they turn on and off on a single day in the week. It's something that is a part of them as a people. It's not something that gets turned on and off. It's not something you forget about. It's something that's incorporated every day within your life. But yes, religion didn't exist until the jealous gods conquered the world. Yeah, the powers that be. People needed to be controlled, and so religion was a wonderful way to do that. And it's still working. It still works, and even now we are being persecuted in different ways. Even on here, people refuse to go and speak to other nationalities, other religions, go to other countries, learn different things, read different books on different modalities, different spiritual ways of being, other people's thoughts. They engage in religious narcissism, and they think that their way is the only way because it's what they've been taught. And when you attack that by talking about anything else other than what someone is used to, you get that whole mob like mentality. And that's what religious or like spiritual modality bigotism, spiritual narcissism, that's what we're getting, and that's what we deal with every day. Even on YouTube doing tarot, everyone is brainwashed with this whole Hollywood thing of witches and demons and that's the devil and blah 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 blah, that only exists with negative energies, or just negative energies, hands down, whatever, that only exists within the religion of Christianity. Hell, like, you can go there if you talk about it so much, like that's what you believe in. It's what you believe in, and people don't get that. And I don't see anything wrong with the Bible, of course not, because everything, there's the Bible, like a lot of that has been taken from these ancient, esoteric texts. Like the Bible is nothing to be played with. It can be used as a very, very powerful spell casting tool. The everything in it, it's legit. If you go, like, what's so crazy is that this is how religion was just made to control the masses, because you got, in seminary, one of my favorite professors, he was a reverend, and he taught sociology, and he was telling me, he was just like, they don't even teach you guys what they teach us in seminary. They teach the Bible in actual chronological order. The Bible is not in chronological order. And even then, you have to figure out which version you're going to read. Like, it's a hodgepodge of mismatched whatever. And then you have these people teaching their own version, their own interpretation of a single version of a Bible or ancient religious text that's supposed to be dogmatic, like law, and it's not even in chronological order. And it's not even whole in its entirety, because a lot of that stuff was taken from the Book of Thoth, the Emerald Tablets. What else? Sumerian texts. You talk about these things, it pisses people off, and it's out there. The information is out there. You just have to go digging for it. You know, the Quran, the Torah. You know, it's out there. Like, we have a very, like, everything is completely mixed up when we're talking about religion and different modalities. Like, it's past screwed. That's why I wouldn't even, I couldn't dare, I don't feel like I could dare ascribe myself to anything other than what my forefathers had practiced. That's how I feel. And I feel like people should do what's right for them, for sure. Like, if you feel like Christianity or anything else is good for you, then do that. Do that. It's your psyche, it's your life. You know? It's just, I want people to know what they are. Myself, I would love people, just so you know what you are internalizing. Like you need to know where these things come from. All the Abrahamics are bad. I don't feel, I feel like I was watching a documentary at one point, and the Quran, it has to be it's one of those texts that has to be understood from their language, from Farsi. Is that right? For Farsi? Is that the I think that's what it is. You have to, because like, and when it translate into English and stuff, is it's not right. Arabic, yeah. And I was just like, because some guy was saying like, no, this doesn't mean this. This actually means this, and so like, it completely like transforms what it's saying. Like, it means something completely different. So like, and that sucks when you start like, when people want to like learn and understand, because when you take things, when you take from the words, it's not the same. It's just this big long game of telephone, like, for sure. But you know, we're humans and we're trying to learn as much as we can, and you know, the finishing of the Bible was written in, yeah. It's just too many versions of the Bible. It's way too many versions. That's one reason how you know that, like, even Abraham Lincoln has his own version. They don't talk about it, but he took words or parables or the things out of the Bible that he thought was the best, and he compiled them all in a book. And if I'm correct, I'm not sure if you can still find it in the library, but I'm pretty sure you could, if you dig, you know, deep enough, you could find it. I was just like, there's just way too many versions. You got a King James version, you got a New International version, and then on top of that, like, I just find fallacy in sitting somewhere where someone is teaching me their interpretation of a version that came from everything, not in the right order. And so then it just becomes made up stories at that point. Like, it's not meant to be literal, like read literally. And then you have these people, you know, I went to a couple churches here in Oklahoma in the far past. I guess it's been a long time, and where now it's just becoming a tool to control and to kind of like brainwash people's minds, even in political issues. And I'm just like, this is what this was made for. It is not for me, and that's okay. It can be for anybody else. But even there's still a reason both jihadis and liberals want to reform. Christians don't follow the Bible. Muslims follow their book. Yeah. They have their... Everyone on each side has radicalism going on because they got a problem with their whole patriarchy. And actually, it's a very respectable religion to be a Muslim. It really is. Just like people don't understand, because again, we're letting the TV tell us, the news channels tell us what's right, what's wrong, what we should be thinking about, how we should be thinking about something. Like voodoo in itself is a religion of love and ancestry. Of course, you have extremes in all things. You can definitely, like what I was talking about earlier, go for this and turn somebody into damn near a fucking zombie and just have whatever do your bidding. But like at the same time, there are laws that one must follow. You can't just be going out and doing, things to people, and then you watch TV or these movies, which is fine. Like, I watch movies, but like there's too many people that actually believe, they let these things teach them that is what this is. Like with Vodun, you live through your ancestors. You can temporarily become your ancestors. They're already inside you. You share their bloodline. And people look at it and they see, oh, they're possessed demons. Oh, it's the devil. Like, just stop. Just stop, please. Yeah. If it's of hate, and it if they keep practicing hate, because at all point there has been a dark doorstep on each type of modality. Christianity is one that people don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. It's based on human sacrifice. People don't realize what they're doing in the church. Like, things are rituals. Like, we are conduits as people. We are the living embodiment of magic. When they light censers and incense and light candles and do prayers, that is energy manipulation. People don't understand what they're doing. They have this idea of what witchcraft is. They have this idea of, it's this what's right and what's wrong. Whatever you feel like it's wrong in your soul, you feel like it's wrong in your soul. Ain't nobody here to contest that. But at least people should know what they're doing. when you are receiving bread and wine in your mouth as an embodied, that is a ritual. Communion, it's a ritual. The race is homophobic. Churches speak about it with loving terms. Yeah. The you know, it's supposed to be in the name of love, but if you're doing something against someone to take their will away from them, it's not of love. That is not. God is everything. I believe that God is absolutely everything. That's one of the reasons why in spirituality we do recognize ourselves as God, because we are a physical embodiment of that on the lowest plane. We like, you can't perform hate and think that it's going to permeate. Like, we are able to, we're able to create. That is why there are some people that call themselves goddesses and gods, because we are miniature versions. We understand that we are not God, but you are able to create, and God is a creator. And I think that that's why it's very important for laymen or people who are kind of like new to tarot or the spirituality community to like actually learn, you know. Impersis, what's that? Are you an impersis? I don't know what that is. Let's look it up, because I love learning. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to end this live because it's 72 minutes and nobody gonna watch 72 minutes of my babble. Yes, but I hope you all have a wonderful night. I'm sorry that this has went to nothing because I just started jibber jabbering. No, you're fine. You're fine. You had questions, and a lot of times, people in the spiritual community, we don't really like, it's not very common where you can speak with others about these things. And so it's very easy to kind of just like delve into conversation, because it is fascinating to, I feel like it's fascinating. Not everyone might not, because it might challenge, you know, something within them to where like they feel like it's wrong, or they've been conditioned to think in a certain way. But like, I have always been a big advocate of learning about anything esoteric since a young child. I know I've had gifts since I was a child. I used to see things, and no, I'm not schizophrenic or anything like that. But I have since been cut off from those things, and the reason why is because I had to cut myself off from those things because it was scaring the living daylights out of me, and I did not understand like what I was exposed to at all, just because I was so young and had no clue about any of this. It was to the, I used to be a kid. I'm a weird science geek at heart. My major was biology. I dissect things like I could dissect anything perfectly. I thought I wanted to be a surgeon, but like I used to collect like gemstones when I was a kid, like gemstones like different rocks, like fool's gold, pyrite, different types of like selenite crystals. And I had such a large amount of them. It was they my room was active. My room was active. Like, not only was I opened up without even like meditating as a young child, like I had to get rid of my collection. They didn't stop until I didn't even know that it, like, some of the stuff was setting me off. When the collection went, when I kind of like had to start getting really serious about school, and I kind of like got lax on the collection of my gemstones, because my mom would like even, like, oh, I found this Athamas Hobby Lobby, back when Hobby Lobby back in the like early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s, they would sell like like just different gems and stuff, or stones. Yeah, she would just like bring me back, and I would just like have like this mountain of them in like different like little cases. And like my closet, I used to keep them in my closet. I'm like, now I feel like I can control a lot of stuff. But like when I was a kid, there used to be some stuff that visions, yeah, they're visions. And being like woken up, like it got to a point where I could scare the shit out of somebody with some stories that I got. Like, there was one time where I was like lying down, and I it was like about like around 2 or 3 in the morning, and I like, house is pitch black. I'm in middle school, or I'm just about to go to middle school, and I couldn't have been, like, I had to be like 12 or something like that. Oh my god, I would hear like piano music playing in the house. I'm like, where the fuck is that coming from? We don't have a piano. Like, I used to play, but like, I don't have a fucking piano. And so like, and it would like get louder and louder as I went into the living room, and then it would fade back when I would go back to my room. So like the source of the sound would come from the living room. I've been dragged out of my bed, like grabbed by the ankle and dragged out of my bed. I've laid down, and I used to get like dreams, like I've left my body while I was sleeping multiple times. I've actually, body's been asleep, sentient, awake, wide awake, to where I've seen things like in my room, like, this is not me being, like, I've had some stories, like there's a guy that shot himself in my friend, or my old high school friend. He shot himself in her mother's room before they had ever lived there. And at at high school, we would always like be over at her house all the time. Her mom was like one of those moms that was like really into her boyfriend, and had like, 4 like girls and stuff, and like the 2 younger ones would be with their aunt, or they would go over their aunt's house, and like the 2 older ones, one of which was my friend, we would all like party like every weekend at her house, like have all types of like guys over drinking, smoking, doing all stuff we ain't had no business doing. When we would spend the night over there, her house was so damn active. Like, I'm so like sleep paralysis is no joke. Like, it's terrifying if you don't know what it is. Like, if you've never experienced it and you don't know what's happening. Like, you could actually feel your body like asleep, and it's like prickly, and like you're not, like, you're trying to move, but you're not able to move. It's like, damn, like, it at first, the first time it happened, I was like, am I dead? Like I'm like, am I dead? Like, I'm like, oh my God, how did I, like, I remember like going through like a series of thoughts like, holy shit, how did I die? I know that's frightening. But yeah, the first time that it ever happened, I was meditating when I was a kid. I was probably 11 years old. Um I was sleeping and I was trying to go to sleep because I couldn't go to sleep. And I was meditating and I was doing these breathing exercises because I was watching something on the Discovery Channel or something, TLC, I don't even remember what it was. You know, they have that ancient mysteries, whatever BS I was watching. And I was breathing in and out, just really slowly, like breath control. And I ended up falling asleep. I thought I fell asleep. I slipped out of my body and I just, like, I saw myself in the exact placement of how I was meditating and from the ceiling, and I couldn't control it. And I think something happened to where, like, I actually ended, I could tell that I wasn't asleep, but I actually went to sleep after that. That was the first time it ever happened. Like, I felt like I was being pulled from my body, like floating up to the corner, and I couldn't control where I was going. It was very odd. You had full consciousness with zero muscle response. It was painful because you're literally blind, deaf, being trapped in like a meat cage. Like, that's what, and the crazy part about it, it feels good to be in here. I know that sounds so odd. It sounds very odd, but like, it feels good to be in here. Cause like, I didn't know what, I didn't know what the hell was happening. And the second time it happened, I thought I died. I was like, holy fuck, how am I gonna explain it? Like, I had to explain it to somebody. But yeah. But you know, you come back. I don't know. I don't know. I like, it's not something that I decided, like, after experiencing it, I was so scared that I was just like, I kind of just don't really want to, like, you can control it. People's, there, I just, it's not something that, once experiencing it, it's not bad. It's not, if you know what it is and you know how to control it. But I didn't know how to, like, I was wondering, like, how do I get back? How do I get back? And like, how do I go back? Yeah, it feels good when you're in control of this. But like, when you start slipping away and you don't know how to like navigate, it's weird. And you talk to people about this that think you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, no, it's a real thing. Like, I'm not crazy, I promise you. Like, yeah, like, it feels good when you're in your control. It feels really good when you're in your jar. Like, yeah. Like, the skeleton wants to get out. Like, you relax so much, um, and you open yourself up, you will, it's kind of like slipping out. Like, you slipped out on accident. Like, you kind of just, it's not like getting up and like just what, no, like you, it's kind of like water slipping out of a jar or something, like away. That's how it feels. And it's weird because I'm just like, how do you control this? Like, how do, I know that there's some people online, they talk about it and how like how to lucid, like, I don't know if there's like a fine line between lucid dreaming and yeah. I don't know. But it is so scary. I don't know if I would even like, I'm not, I don't feel like I'm ready to, cuz to try again. I'm pretty sure that if I try hard enough, it probably could happen again. But like, I've cut myself off from certain things because, like I say, I would rather crawl before I walk.
You never felt full a hug is low controlling your sleep. It falls less lucid dreaming is worse for me because I can't wake up sometimes. I got to a point where I was controlling some things, but I think it takes practice. Like you have to like actively be practicing lucid dreaming for that to happen. And I get I don't want to say prophetic, well, I was told prophetic dreams by someone, but I like to shut myself off sometimes because it's just like tarot cards. They tell you the current energies, and if anything were not to change, um, but things change all the time with the drop of a hat, and so it's sometimes good to know the current energies. No one knows the future. Some people do know because they can see things if the timeline stays the exact same. That's how prophetic things work. The knowledge of it makes you want to escape, but it doesn't work. Um, that's hard. That's one thing. If I were to begin even trying with lucid dreaming, I would go ahead and try, like, really practice at it because I think that there's a point where you could start lucid dreaming and control some things, and it kind of be like not knowing, like being able to control some things and not others. Like some people can make themselves wake up. Some people are so good, I think they can make themselves wake up. I've never gotten to that point. And for the longest time, I know that crystals, they have the vibration of the earth. That is the reason why people are like so crystal crazed, and we get downloads from the sun. The sun actually has um, energy, energy, and messages from the divine. And so that's why we charge crystals, because they amplify things. And so I am very careful about having certain stones like where I sleep. Or I know that some people use them to help them with their dreams as well. Um, I think it is a large part of, because I used to play, like I used to have them out in the sun in the backyard, like on like the patio and stuff, and like be bringing them back in, so they were being charged up, and I had a shit ton. And when I mean a shit ton, I had like cases, and they were just stacked up in my closet, and it was so active at a certain point in my younger years that like I told my mom some stuff about what was going on, and how like I seen some things like in my room, and she didn't know what to say because my mother is very religious. She's a Christian woman, and she she just laughed it off. But now that I'm thinking about it in my adult age, she was she was looking at me like, holy shit, are you okay? Like she was, I could tell by the look on her face that she was terrified. But she had to laugh it off because she was just like, what, like what are you talking about? Like, girl, you crazy. Like, imagine being a child and like things like that are happening, and no, like no one's, no one's there to like aid you through that. What are the stones, their powers that because I could never figure out one book that I have. It is one second. I think everyone should have this book. This is it Chris Cunningham? Something Cunningham. I have a ton of his books. He has since passed, but he practiced Wicca. He was a Wiccan magician, and they have, I don't necessarily, I'm not a Wiccan, but I don't I'm not going to say that I don't believe in what they believe, because I believe in a lot of stuff that they believe in, and how ethical they are for the ones that are ethical Wiccans. They're right on the money. He had a vast knowledge of crystal and gemology, and he made a book. One second. And I'm a big fan of books. See? Ooh, crap. I'm a big fan of having like different books of different modalities for reference. And yeah, Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Crystal and Gem Magic by Scott Cunningham. It is loaded full of information about crystals and gems, and what kind of spells and stuff to use them for. He teaches how to use some of them in magic. He teaches what the ancients, what people did with these back in the day. Like, he was talking about how I love, he tells, like, some of these things he tells you from the view of a Wiccan on how to, how do I say this? How to maintain, or how to do it ethically or whatever. But that's if you are in the Wiccan tradition. Like, think like subjects on like obtaining stones, you know. It depends on what you want and need them for, on how to either obtain them. Back in the day, that's what it meant for, but you can use them however you need to. You can procure them however you need to. But one thing that I will always say, Wiccan or no Wiccan, pagan or no pagan, whatever modality you are, cleanse your things before you bring them into your house. I was a kid who had a ton of gemstones. They were not clean. They were not spiritually cleansed. They were being charged because I was outside playing with them. I was I was completely open, and they had my energy, and God knows how, whatever else they came through with. There's some, like, I can't even begin to tell you what all the powers of what stones do what. It just depends on what you need and what you're asking for. But this is a good book to buy if you're into that. He did another one, which I find pretty... Ooh, have I been looking for this book? No, I didn't look for that book. Okay. I'm missing some I need to look for. It's in my pile of books. Another book that I really like of his is the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. So if you are someone who is into working the root, which is what we call in hoodoo working the root, this is a good one to have. If you are a kitchen witch, I'm just throwing out names. This is a good one. I love this because like it talks about all the herbs and all the plants that one would use for different things. What planet, element, gender, and powers that they're used for, how to use them, how people in ancient day used to use them. And so this is a good one to have as well if you
do kitchen magic, which I'm well versed in. I have a lot of herbs, and some of them I have yet to get. I don't have everything in this book, of course not, but there is some that I found. If you can't like grow them yourself, you can also go to like your botanica, your local botanica, and they will have dried herbs for you. Like I found like mugwort. They're like a big ass bag of mugwort, and so that can be used for like a ton of things. He has another one which is really good. I don't use this as much, and the reason why it's because like I say, this is these are reference for me. I don't really read this from cover to cover like this, only as needed, because these actually have potions and things in them. Incense, Oils, and Brews, the complete book by Scott Cunningham. And he's just very, very, he was, I should say, because I think the dear man has passed, or since passed. But like one thing, what did I save in here? I saved something in here a while back ago. Okay, like if you need like quick references to like do something, like let's say most of us who practice, we understand when people are casting evil eye at us. We know when certain things are not right, because a lot of people know when life is not going in the flow. Like, don't get me wrong, we all understand, you know, the ups and downs of life and the laws of the universe. What goes up must come down. But when there is a long stream of unfortunate events and your intuition is peaking and telling you something, we have ways of combating that. This book, they have actual recipes in there, like anti-hex bath, 4 parts rosemary, 4 parts juniper, 4 parts bay leaves, 1 part mugwort. Mugwort's really good for a lot of stuff. So like, I just think that it's a really good reference book. So check out Scott Cunningham. He knows what he knew what he was talking about. Yeah. Do you have any more questions before I cut this off? But yeah, I actually want to but yeah, I would think find a teacher that you trust, and that isn't just trying to like get you for your money. If you're really wanting to learn something of your ancestral line, and you could begin with yourself too. You really don't need anyone like you think you might too, but it is helpful to find someone to like ask questions with that has something to do with your what you initially want to practice. And so I'm not sure if I know that in a traditional like European magic, one thing that I actually wanted to learn, because why not? I have this ancestral bloodline to England as well, is runes. I would really like to learn how to learn some runes and how to read those as well. So I think that's a really another cool way of divination. And as far as African American hoodoo magic or traditional hoodoo magic, reading with chicken bones. I thought that was pretty cool too. But I think my next one will probably be learning how to divine with what was it? I've been putting it off. Oh, I can't find it, but it's not. I'm gonna show that. Maybe we'll save that for next time. But yeah. So I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. I am sorry that it did not go toward an actual reading. I'm gonna leave this up. I don't think anybody's really gonna watch it, but I'll leave it up anyway. Just for as reference information, if anybody kind of wants to like listen for background, whatever. I'll probably be on tomorrow since I have a day off from my regular 9 to 5 and do another reading. And thank you all for clicking. Please like and thumbs up if anything I said made any sort of sense to you. And I will see you all soon. Peace.